kalled and welcome to Pandora. Over the past couple of days, the publisher DK has released new images showing off more pages from their upcoming book, The World of Avatar, A Visual Exploration. A book that many who have watched my previous videos will know I'm very excited for. These new images help to give us a better insight into what the book will contain and what it will do for the lore of the franchise. So today, I thought I'd break down these pages and see what we can learn about the upcoming release. A big thanks to Stephen Sully Shepherd on Twitter for sharing these images. Please do go and check them out. The first page shown relates to the history of the Na'vi, giving us more insight into the very first stories from their history, known as the first songs. These have appeared in the franchise before, but it gives us more of a connective feel between the ancient history of the race and the current day society that we see in the film. We then get a brilliantly summarised version of the events of Turok: The Last Flight, which for many new fans of the franchise may still be unfamiliar with. Again, it's showing how the guide is going to truly bring together all of these elements of storytelling from the universe and try to tell them in a connective way. It's what the franchise needs, not only for new fans coming into the franchise, but for the already existing ones to finally get a definitive timeline for all these events. Not only does this page reference Turok: The First Flight, but one whole section of it recounts the story of the animal kingdom's Pandora: The World of Avatar, referring to the Alpha Centauri expeditions, the Valley of Mo'ara, and the Shaman of Song, all of these integral parts of the story set after the films. See my previous video if you want to know more about the full story relating to the park. Not only is it brilliant to see the story being acknowledged as canon within the universe, but it now gives us a timescale that the next several films will work within, and we can try and roughly work out what will happen based on how the planet is at the time of the park. There's a lot more to go in depth with this, and I feel like it needs a whole other video to itself. The next page talks about the flora of Pandora, showing off many plants seen in the film and giving us a lot more insight into how they work in the ecosystem of Pandora. There's not too much to say for this page, but I'm really hoping this is just the first of several pages on the flora, as many noteworthy plants are missing here, mainly those that are only referenced in external material outside of the film, such as the survival guide and games. Where are the centipede or the cycad? Flora that was shown in the original Avatar game and Pandora Rising. What's even stranger about this preview is that the page has flora from those games, such as the Sylphant and the Chalice plant, which makes me even more sure that there's going to be other pages on this topic when the book releases. The last preview page looks at the Valkyrie, one of my personal favourite vehicles from the franchise, probably because of my love of sci-fi in general. The page itself gives us some small extra specifications and information on the ship itself. Nothing really big or major for the franchise however, but it's still nice to see that it gets a 2-page spread in the book. A lot of the information though about the ship, as with the other pages of the preview, comes from the activist survival guide, which is really lovely to see. It means that more people are finally going to be able to get that deeper lore it contained, but in a much more accessible way, which is what I wanted from this book all along. One final note about this page is the art used for the shuttle's cargo bay. I'm not sure if it's reused concept art from the first film or if it's completely new, but either way it's great to see more obscure or new pieces of artwork going into this book. Overall, this new preview has really got me excited for the release, more so than before. It seems the book is going to try and cover all of the elements of the universe and its lore, even if it may not have the breadth I was hoping for. It seems to be delving deep into the already established lore, and I really hope the rest of the book will be up to this quality when it does release next year. I really can't stress how important this book will be for the franchise when it does come out, as there's so much lore they are dealing with, most of which fans have never seen before. I would strongly urge anyone to keep an eye on its release, and if you're craving that deeper look into the universe and can't wait until March next year, then if you can, try and track down a copy of the Activist Survival Guide, as it has a lot of the information that will be in this. But as soon as any more information comes out about the book, I'll be sure to cover it on this channel, so keep an eye out for that. But thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. What do you think of the new preview? Will you be picking up the book? I'd love to hear all your thoughts below in the comments. But until then, hej alvaj, giavami.